Hey Braille, my name's Mustafa and I need help with my kickflips. So when I try to kickflip, when I try to flick out or pop my ankle, it just doesn't go up and pop. So if you could help me with that and other tips. So I'm gonna show you the tricks that I already know.
Alright, let's check these tricks out. You got your ollie, got your backside 180, boom, perfect, and your pop shot.
So now I'm gonna show you my kickflip attempts.
Alright, let's check out these kickflips. Before I get into this, I would just say that you should definitely learn your frontside 180s first, just because it's kind of like, it's a hard trick for some people to learn. I know I had a lot of trouble with it, so I definitely recommend learning that. And also get down your front shoves and your heel flips, and that's going to make it a lot easier for you to get your kick flips down because you'll have all the basics and the stepping stones for the kick flip. So you should probably do
So
that.
yeah, every time I try to pop my ankle up so my foot doesn't hit the ground, it doesn't work. So could you please help me with that? And yeah, thank you.
Alright, so let's check out this slow motion. So you're pretty close. So you get a good pop, but then your foot immediately flicks to the ground. And this is a problem I see with a lot of people learning how to kickflip. And then we'll look again. Boom, you see how your foot flicks immediately towards the ground. It flicks straight down and not up. So this is something that I see with a lot of people learning kickflips, and I'm pretty sure I did it myself. So it's very common, you don't have to worry about it too much. But there's two things. So first, I think it's your flick, and the second thing is your commitment. So a lot of times when you learn a trick without knowing the basics and the fundamentals before that, learning a new trick can be a really, really scary thing, and it leads to some commitment issues when you're trying to learn that trick. So when you flick the board, you're flicking down, and your front foot is literally going straight to the ground, is like just there's not even a chance that it could get up there and land on your skateboard. And then your back foot is going straight to the ground too. And I don't think it's not because I don't think it's because you're trying to do that. I just think it's like a mental thing that it's kind of just happening without you being able to control it. So there's a couple of things I want you to practice to get over these like commitment issues and learn how to kickflip. So the first one I want you to do is practice that flick over and over and over again. The big thing is you got to pop first. You got to get a really good pop, so your ollies have to be great. And then you have to practice your flicking motion. See right here, Aaron does the flick off the side of his nose, and he flicks up every single time. If you look at his foot in the next example, you'll see that his ankle flicks his foot upwards. You see that? That motion right there is what makes the pop and the kick flip. It makes it go high in the air so you have time to land it. So what you need to do is practice that flick, that upwards flick, over and over and over and over and over and over and over again until you don't even have to think about it. The downwards flick should just completely go away. I want you to forget about that and try to never do it again. And I just want you to keep practicing these upwards flicks over and over and over again until you get it without even thinking. Because when you get a good pop and you get an upward flick, that momentum is going to bring your board higher. And once you start learning how to flick it, you're going to start getting used to the feeling, and it's going to start becoming easier and easier. And with kick flips and consistency, with consistency comes getting more comfortable landing the board on the board. So you just want to get more consistent and more comfortable with making your board do what you want to do. In this case, popping really hard and getting a good upward flick. And then once you get comfortable with controlling your kickflip, you'll be able to easily land on top of the board and get your legs up, bend your knees, and catch the board in the air like Aaron does right here. So there's a couple things you need to work on. I just think your upward flick needs to be worked on a little bit. Don't flick downwards, it's going to mess up your kickflips, and just commit. Don't be afraid, just put your heart into it. You got
I'm Eli
this.
Davis. I'm from Richland, Washington. Well, not really Richland, but West Richland, Washington, and I want to learn 360 flips because it seems like a really cool and really fun trick. And I like to watch my favorite pro skaters do it, like Paul Rodriguez, Eric Costin, all of them, and it just looks like a really cool, fun trick to learn. So I'm going to show you what tricks I already got down and which ones I kind of need help with. Alright, so now that I've shown you all the tricks I can do, and the heel flip and the varial, like, I'm really close on them. Very, very close. Like, I landed a few here and there, so just thought I'd throw that in there. So now I'm going to show you my tray flip attempts. They're not very pretty, and I can land them with 1 foot, but when I actually like try to land with 2 feet, for some reason it like doesn't spin and it doesn't flip and stuff. But I think I'm doing a pretty good job at leaning back. So here's my foot placement, my front foot. I usually put it like around there. Sometimes I put it like a little bit more pointed like that, but just kind of down from those bolts and off to the side a little bit. On my back foot, I sometimes put it like there with a little bit hanging off the back with my toes hanging off so I can get a good scoop. But sometimes I like to put it like really far back on the tail like that, just because I feel like it gives me a better scoop. But yeah, like that's just my foot placement, and like I can like kind of like get to land it with 1 foot, but like it's kind of rare. Now I'm gonna show you like a billion different angles of me doing tray flips, so you can see exactly what I'm doing wrong. So here you go. I don't know if my scoop is wrong or what, but it just totally changes when I actually try to land on it from when I'm like just trying to land it with 1 foot. So I'm kind of like, I don't know what to do. So yeah, kind of looks like I'm just like trying to do an impossible, even though I'm not. It just for some reason won't flip, and it's really, really frustrating, and I want to tray flip so bad. So thanks a lot for your help, Aaron. I really needed it because I can't tray flip, and you know, I can do all these basic tricks, but I really want to learn some advanced ones now.
Alright, so let's check out this slow motion. So what you said was very interesting because it does happen to a lot of people. When you do like a 1 foot land, it does make it a lot easier, but then the second you try to commit to it, it gets a little bit harder. So right here, you get a pretty good amount of scoop. You could scoop a little harder. And then your flick is, I mean, you get the 360 shove, which is good, but your flick is just a little interesting. So what I would recommend to you is that you go and get your varial flips down very well. And I remember in the video a little earlier you were saying that you've landed like 1 and 2 and you're pretty close to them. But what I would recommend is that you get varial flips very well. And this is coming from someone who learned varial flips before their kick flips, me. The varial flip is a good stepping stone, obviously because it's like half of a tray flip, but getting that flick motion down when you're doing a shove it is going to help you a lot. Because when you're doing the tray flip, when you do the scoop as hard as you can, you don't even really want to think about the flick at all. So what I want you to do is I want you to learn your varial flips, and I want you to get them so well that you don't even have to think about the flick. So when you go into your tray flips, the only thing you have to worry about is scooping your board as hard as you can, because that's really 75% of what tray flips are, is that 360-degree scoop 3 shove. You want to get that scoop as hard as you can every time. You can see in all these attempts, Aaron's toe kind of curls underneath his skateboard when he scoops, and he puts pretty much all of his effort into that. I know when I do my tray flips, all of my effort goes into my scoop, and probably like 5 to 10% into my flick. The way the physics works, I'm not going to act like some kind of physics professor or anything, but the way the scissor kick motion of your tray flip goes, when you scoop hard, the way the board is spinning, your foot kind of just flicks anyways without you even having to try. But that's why I would recommend you getting the varial flips down really well, is because when you have all the prerequisite tricks done and mastered well, like I know I can do a varial flip without even thinking and then go and do a tray flip and apply the same things. Just add the extra little scoop and it's going to help out a lot. So yeah, I think you're having a problem that a lot of people do have, but I recommend that you just keep going out there and practicing. Land that heel flip and land the varial flip and get those down really well, and then the tray flip will come pretty easy to you. Another step which could possibly help you is if you kind of take it step by step. So first you just practice the 3 shove over and over and over again just to get that rotation down. Then you practice the 3 shove with the flip, and then you just try to get the board to do the 360 flip rotation, and you do that over and over again until you don't even have to think about it. And then once you get the 360 flip rotation down, then you practice landing it with only your front foot, and you do that over and over and over until you don't even have to think about it. And then you do the same thing over and over and over, but land it with only your back foot. And I know this sounds kind of tedious, and a lot of you guys might not want to do that, but if you take the trick and you break it down into what you have to do, and then you practice each one of those steps over and over again until you don't even have to think about it, a lot of skateboarding is just muscle memory. All you have to do is keep doing the trick over and over and over, and then you can do the trick literally blindfolded. I know Aaron is so consistent with a lot of his tricks, he could do tricks not even looking easily. So I recommend that you just go and take these steps down, and you just learn them step by step, and then when you have them all without even thinking, then you just put it together and you got a tray flip. Boom. So I hope this helped. Please keep going out there and skating every day, and you definitely got this tray flip. Keep progressing. You got this. I'll see you next time.
Definitely check out Skateboarding Made Simple. It's available on all these platforms: iBooks, BrailleSkateboarding.com, and Google Play. It's the most comprehensive video we've ever made, and it teaches skateboarding better than anything else out there. You won't be disappointed.